Hey everyone, it's Tamara. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 2 of our 7-day flexibility challenge. On day 1, we had been focusing on hips and chest. Today we're going to be doing a focus on our back and hamstring and quads. I want to take a moment to say thank you so much for some of the positive and amazing feedback, and I've learned so much from you all as well as we go through these fun routines together. So please do continue to leave me a shout out in the comments or messages on what you like or what you'd like to see changed up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe because I release exercise videos often, and especially as we go through our 7-day challenge together. Okay, enjoy.
Okay everyone, let's get started by staying seated on the mat, and we're going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time onto our backs. Just relax and shake things out to get started. As I mentioned at the start of this video, today we're going to be focusing a lot on our back, our hamstring, and our quads. That being said, so much of our flexibility is rooted in actions coming from our hips. So let's rotate our legs and start activating the hips. And hug your legs in. Next, we're going to have you rock back and forth a few times until you swing forward and go into your tabletop pose. Starting with your back flat, go ahead and shake things out, groove from side to side. Remember, the key to our flexibility practice is being relaxed. And then we're going to look up and look down and do some cats and cow poses. That's arching your back up, remember to breathe, and then curving your spine and looking down. Once again, looking up, and then next we're going to straighten up and go on our knees. I'm going to show you something fun now as we get ready. We're going to continue to activate our quads as stiff as a board. You're going to lean back and lean forward. You really got to work your core here. And then you're going to grab your right ankle with your right hand, and your left hand is going to go forward. Getting back up. You're going to go into your low lunge, give your hamstrings some love, with your right leg in the front. And we're going to push as close to the ground as possible and then swing back. Once again, open it up and push forward and push back. We're going to push forward once again. And then we're going to move the right foot to the center. And we're going to go into our half splits. See if you can get your right leg as straight as possible and arching your back downwards. Since repetition is so important in our flexibility practice, let's go for 2 more times for good measure. Straight and push forward, and straighten the leg and bring it back. Now before we even things out and go through that whole sequence again for the other side, let's give you a chance to shake everything out and just relax. Staying relaxed is the key to this practice. Okay, here we go. Stiff as a board and lean forwards and backwards. Once again, backwards and then forwards, and then we're going to take our left hand to meet our left ankle, and right hand reaches over across. And then slowly we're going to inch our left leg forward as we go into that low lunge and get ready to rock back and forth. Hands on the right side, look up and push back. Straighten your left leg if possible. And go ahead, push forward again and look up and push back. And we're going to get closer to the ground now. We're going to look up once again. And this time as we push back, we're going to slow down because we know we're going to go into our half splits soon. Inching our left leg to the middle. Seeing if we can arch our back and get as close to our knee as possible. Keeping your left leg as straight as possible. And then very slowly, so we don't hurt ourselves and listen to our bodies for comfort, we're going to slowly bring our left leg back. And then, of course, as you go back and you're on your knees, shake everything out. Shake your wrists out. Shake everything that's been working out. You should be very relaxed as we go through this. And then stiff as a board, we're going to lean back one last time and forwards. And one last time, and here we go. We're going to now go both hands on both ankles. And now you're going to arch your back and see if you can look back with your head. Of course, if you're not reaching your ankles today, that's okay. Reach what you can. Maybe your calf, maybe the floor behind you. Anything that's comfortable for you. It's all about progress and not perfection all the time. Since you were in just a pretty tremendous back arch there, we're going to give you a chance to round your back. So we're going slowly, we're going to inch out to our tabletop again and going back into those cats and cows. Shake things out for a longer period of time if you need to though. So round your spine because again, you were arching your back. And now very slowly, you're gonna slide both hands forwards and we're going into what is a puppy pose. Of course, if this is not something you're ready for, you don't have to fully go down with your chest on the mat. I'm doing that here for a really nice back arch, but if it doesn't feel good, support yourself with your forearm instead. And we're not there for very long. Once again, rounding our spine to reset everything. Okay, we've been working on our back quite a bit now. Let's go ahead and change things up a bit. We're gonna go to the middle of the mat, and as I've always said, it's always a good idea to shake everything out, get groovy, and just feel super relaxed because you don't want to be hurting yourself in your flexibility practice. Now, just to give you a different perspective, I'm going to turn and look the other way on my mat. I'm going to slowly make my way down, all the way down, chest, stomach, everything, and my head. And with my left hand, I'm going to grab my left ankle and just pull it towards my glutes. That's it. It should be a really nice quad stretch there. When you're ready to let go, have your left foot go back to the ground very slowly with control. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to bring the right heel to the glutes with both hands holding it. Okay, time to work a little bit harder. Both feet are coming to your glutes and both hands are holding it. Pressing your heels down as close to your glutes as possible should be a really nice quad stretch there. When you come out of that stretch, have your forearms, both of them on the ground, and we're going to look upwards, baby cobra, and then go back down. Once again, just very small movement here. Lift your head up and your forearms are both connected to the ground. And while you're still on the ground and you're lying flat, just remember, we're gonna just start shaking everything out again. We wanna keep you as relaxed as possible because nothing should be feeling forced in our flexibility practice. Now I'm gonna spread my legs just a little bit wider than the mat. I have my arms out in front of me and I'm only gonna lift my upper body and bring both hands back to connect and back to the front. Still looking at the ground only, lift just your left leg and then put it back down. Then just your right leg and put that back down. And then we're gonna lift both legs, keeping our legs as straight as possible. And then with your tummy still touching the ground but your belly button close to your spine, lift arms and legs up and slowly, gently place it down. Once again, both arms and legs, and then we're gonna try to grab the ankles. See if you can lift your ankles up high. Be very gentle when you place it down, and with control, we're gonna go back into our X pose. And of course, because repetition is key, let's go once again. Shake everything out, and here we go. Arms and legs up in the air, and see if you can grab your ankles or your shin, anything that you feel comfortable with, and pull your ankles up as high as possible before setting it back down with control. And now very relaxingly, we're gonna have you push back into your child's pose very slowly, glutes touching your heels if possible, just to reset. And then we're gonna return to the center of the mat because we're gonna be doing some much more simple stretches now. We've been doing some pretty intense stuff there. Shake everything out. Go into a butterfly pose for a moment. That means your heels are meeting and you're going to have your knees collapse to both sides and see if they can get as close to the ground as possible. Just shake everything out, be relaxed. And then we're gonna take your left leg and we're gonna swing it all the way to one side, straighten it out, and then once again, have the heels touch the glutes and just pull on it. Give your quad a nice stretch. And then of course, with lots of control, return that left leg to the front and relax everything. Put your legs out in front of you and do some windshield wipers side to side just to reset. Then I'm gonna fold my left leg in and I'm gonna bring my right leg back. That's your right ankle touching your glutes and just pulling it back. This is a very relaxing stretch just to give your quads some love. Then slowly and with lots of control, bring that right leg back and we're gonna go one more time into that butterfly pose, heels meeting and shaking those legs out. And now for our left hamstring stretch, we're gonna grab our toes and see if we can straighten one leg out to the side. Now, if you're not comfortable, please don't force it. You can always hang onto your shin or your knee. I'm gonna show you what that looks like on the other side, where I'm gonna be hanging onto my right calf instead, and just pulling that out to one side. It should be a really nice hamstring stretch. As you can see, I've been using this butterfly pose as a reset. I'm always trying to keep everything very relaxed, very fluid. Lots of courage, here we go. Both hamstrings are gonna get a stretch now. Now again, if you can't reach your toes today, that's okay. Return to your butterfly pose,
So as soon as it stops
shake it
raining,
out,
you'll
and
leave.
try once again, whether that's with your knees or with your shin. I'm gonna show you in a moment what that looks like when I'm gonna hang onto my knees
If
instead.
it continues, I'll be able to stay here forever.
It's okay to start somewhere because you know we're always going to repeat
wasn't
and try
meant to be a
again
joke.
until we progress. Now, before we wind down and start to near the end of day 2, we're going to do one more quad stretch. We're going to fold our left leg to the side of our body this time, and we're going to cross the right leg over. Should be a really nice outer leg stretch for both legs. And of course, to even things out, we're going to do the same on the other side where we fold the right leg to the side of our body and then cross our left leg over. Okay, great work everyone. You've all been doing so much great stuff today. We're going to go into our final, pretty interesting and challenging stretch. It's going to be for our back and our shoulders. And what I'm going to do is now have you slowly lie down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time, roll it out. And when you're ready, you're going to be hugging both your knees into your chest and see if you can have your legs straight up above you. If you can't have it completely straight above you, that's okay, just as far as you can. And now we're going into our plow pose. That's if you can have your toes meet the floor behind you. Again, this is not something you should force, and of course, you should be able to come out of it with a lot of support. Use your hands to support you coming out of this stretch. Now again, that is something that took me a long time to work into, so it's absolutely okay if you were only kind of hovering your legs up above. Oh, Momo came to say hi. Well, that wraps up day 2 of our 7-day flexibility challenge. Thank you again for stretching with me. And I do hope that you try this out a few more times this week if you do have the time, because as I've mentioned, repetition, gravity, and relaxation is really key to our progress in flexibility. Okay, I'm so excited to see you on day 3. Oh, and please do remember to subscribe so that you can see it when the video comes out. See you next time.